Okay, hello everybody. Happy day two. It is day two of the Publish Your Book on Amazon 10-day challenge. We are going to go through the workbook and we are going to dig deep into the day two content, which is going to be all about using AI for your topic, choosing the right topic based on market research, and also figuring out how to get our book started with the outline. Okay, so let's go through. We're gonna quickly go through the workbook so that you guys can see how to use it. Okay, welcome, welcome. This experience, I'm just gonna read this to you. This experience will elevate your mind and completely change your life if you're open to it, okay? Please clear your mental and physical space. Let everyone in your house know that these few days, the next few days, you're going to be unavailable. Okay? Why? Because you're going to be working on your project. All right? You are laser focused on publishing your book, period. Welcome to the challenge. Prepare to become a successful author. Maybe this is the second or third or fourth time. Okay? Prepare yourself for another transformation because you don't know what's going to happen. Okay? But it's going to be great. Okay, a little bit about me. I'm an author, coach, teacher, keynote speaker, writing consultant, CEO of LT's Coaching and Educational Services. And over the past 8 years, I have to read this because I forget about the impact that I'm having in the world. And so I have to always go back to this because it's important. And so as you're building your community, keep track of the numbers because when you see how the numbers grow, it's like, whoa, I'm really, really making an impact. And God is really helping me to attract the right folks. So I have to read this again and again. Over the past 8 years, I have built a thriving community of over 800 authors who consistently sign up for virtual events and challenges like this. New authors, if you know any new authors, they are encouraged to start their research by watching free trainings. I have a lot of free content on YouTube. And the YouTube channel is called Your First Book 101 because I really want to capture the first time authors so that they learn the process and they can repeat it the next time. Okay? All right. This is our table of contents. So we're going to go over expectations. We're going to go over the overview. We're going to talk about popular book topics, okay? Because I've done some research for you guys so that you don't have to do it. I'm going to talk about ChatGPT, the book outline. I'm going to talk about Google Documents. And then tomorrow night, we're going to look at some free book templates that are available on Amazon for free 99. Many people don't realize that when it comes to formatting your book, it is a technical nightmare because it involves math. And a lot of us don't really like math. So when it comes to publishing your book, you're going to want to use a template, right? And you're going to want to use a free template, which is available on Amazon, KDP. And I'm going to show you that, how to use it, how to download it, how to create the perfect book structure without having to use your math skills. Okay. So if you want to learn that, that's going to be for tomorrow night. That's going to be day three. Okay. All right. So expectations inside the classroom. You are expected to show up ready to learn, ready to take notes, have fun, ask questions, and complete your homework assignments on time. This is how our clients get incredible results, period. Okay. So tonight there's homework. Last night there was no homework. It was day one. We did an overview. We had guest speakers. We had fun. And so, it's kind of just take it easy last night. Tonight, you're actually going to have an assignment to walk away with, and it'll be due tomorrow night before class. Okay. All right, here's the overview. The overall objective of this challenge is to teach you how to write, publish, and sell a book product in as little as 10 days. We will walk through step by step the exact system that my clients use to become successfully published authors in less time. At the end of the 10 days, we're going to finish on the 20th, right before Christmas. You will have a published ebook and you will also have a published paperback online so that people can purchase them and they can type your name in Amazon and it'll come up. Okay, it's going to be amazing. Okay, first thing we're going to do is open up ChatGPT. If you have ChatGPT on another device, go ahead and open it up. I'm going to show you a couple of strategies to do some market research. Okay. So here's my post from before Thanksgiving. I put this on Facebook and I said, use artificial intelligence for research, not to write your book. Okay. So there's a difference. Some people don't know the difference. I'm going to teach you the difference right now. Okay. So this is literally something that I pulled right off of ChatGPT. Okay. It says most authors struggle with marketing. This gives you professional level promotion without hiring an expensive marketing team. Okay. In my community, we use ChatGPT to create social media content. Okay. Reels, captions, carousels, summaries. If you look at my social media, a lot of it lately has been inspired and invigorated by ChatGPT. I'm a content creator, so I create content anyway, but ChatGPT just pours gasoline on what I'm able to do on my own. So we use it for this purpose, okay? ChatGPT will create a full book launch plan. So if you don't know how to market, sell, promote a book, ask ChatGPT, it'll lay it all out for you. So then the hardest part is actually making yourself do it, right? It's not that we don't know what to do. We know what to do. The hard thing is actually making ourselves accountable and following through. So that's why we have this challenge so that we can help hold each other accountable, okay? You can create email sequences for your readers. Raise your hand if you've gotten emails from me. Raise two hands if you've got many emails from me. Some of them I create on my own. Some of them I get ChatGPT to help me out. And you could probably see the difference, right? Mine are very conversational. Like I use basic language. Sometimes ChatGPT is kind of fancy. They add extra emojis. They're super long. My emails are super short because I just want to get straight to the point and I want to get an answer. It's a question, right? Yes or no. Because people are busy and they ain't got time to be reading all that. But when I want to do something fancy, then I'll ask ChatGPT and they'll come up with a whole thing. They will create press releases and media pitches for you. They'll also create ads and scripts for video promo. My favorite thing is the lead magnet, which is based on your book. And we'll talk more about that later when we get to PayHip. Okay. All right. This is important. I want you to put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on your paper. If you're taking notes, hopefully you're taking notes. These are the most popular book topics right now in 2025, and they have actually been pretty much the same for like the past 50 years, believe it or not. This research right here is recent, but it really hasn't changed a whole lot because human behavior is pretty much the same. Okay. So what I did was I researched nonfiction. So if you're a fiction person, that this does not apply to you at all. Okay. I'm an expert in memoirs and educational content. And so that's what I pay attention to. So there's 5 categories, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that are the biggest best-selling categories on Amazon right now. And they are wellness slash self-help slash mental health and personal development. That's number 1. Okay. Those are books that are offering guidance on mindset, productivity, stress, mental health, life improvement. These are all very common among the bestsellers. So if you want a book that is going to be a bestseller, you want to make sure that the book falls into that category. Okay. But what if you don't like that category? Then you can go to number 2, which is the second category, which is actually my favorite because my first book was a memoir. So memoirs are number 1, number 2, and then biographies are in that category, which is personal stories, real life situations that you just can't make up, right? And they remain among the highest selling nonfiction categories, showing strong demand for real life stories and personal narratives. And as you can see, these are research based. And so the sources are right there in blue. I provided those sources for you so you can go look that up later on if you wanted to. Okay. The third category is one of the categories that I'm not in at all, and it's business, economics, finance, and productivity. But I do have a lot of friends that write for those categories, and these are nonfiction books that are focused on business, economics, money management, productivity, time management, and those are among the also the top best-selling nonfiction works. Again, that's provided by Smart Buy, and you can go Google that later on to verify this information. Okay. Number four, the fourth category is science, technology with a social and scientific slant, right? So these are nonfiction books with a scientific or analytical bent covering topics like science, technology, human behavior, societal issues. Okay. These remain popular among readers seeking understanding or insight. That's category four. Category five, historical, history, social context, investigative nonfiction like true crime, journalism, and social issues. Readers continue to gravitate towards nonfiction dealing with history, investigative journalism, societal issues, politics, big word, especially books that illuminate past events, social justice topics, or deep investigative narratives. Okay. So these are the most popular book categories on Amazon. So when you Google this or you use Chat GPT, you have to be specific and ask, what are the most popular nonfiction books on Amazon right now? Okay. So if you write a book and it falls in one or more of these categories, you could possibly be a bestseller in multiple categories. Okay. Amazon allows you 3 categories. That's the max. Okay. So keep this in mind as you're coming up with your book topics this week because you want to spend your time writing something that people are actually going to be interested in and that they're going to buy. Okay. This is what people are buying. Okay, so we're going to do a quick activity. I'm going to actually give you 2 minutes for this. So you're going to write down, and we've done this before, but we're going to do it again. You're going to write down a list of 10 possible topics for your book based on your expertise. So based on the things that you have been through in your life, you're going to write down the top 10, right? But let me give you a little cheat sheet. Here's a cheat sheet. If you go further in the workbook, there's a questionnaire right here. Okay, so I'm not sure what page this is, but the top of the page says answer these questions completely to help you brainstorm topics for your book. So for those of you that have done this challenge more than once, you've already done this page before. Okay. How it's going to help you. Oh, thank you. Page 27. Perfect. How this page is going to help you. It's going to help you remember because you've been through a lot of stuff in your life. It's going to help you remember. Okay. What are some of the experiences that you've had that have shaped you to be the human being that you are today? And these situations qualify you to talk about certain topics. Okay. So I want you to go back to this page and I want you to take about 2 minutes. I'll give you 2 minutes to answer these questions. So you're going to write a list of 10 topics. Then you're going to narrow it down to 3. And then you're going to choose one and you're going to use ChatGPT to research the best, most profitable topic for you to write about based on your expertise. Okay. All right, so I'll give you 2 minutes for this page. Okay, and I'm gonna come right back. So I'm gonna close my mic and close my video for 2 minutes. Okay, any questions before we start? We got it? Okay, 2 minutes starts right now. Okay, that's 2 minutes. I want you to go ahead and type in the chat. What are your three? Type in the chat. What are your three? All right, we've got, can learning to trade replace your job? Okay, good topic. All right, so that's one. Give me two more topics. Okay, does networking really work for everyone? Okay, and one more topic. Ah, let Jesus take the wheel. You'll love the destination. Love it. All right, let's take these three examples and let's go back to what we just learned about these popular topics and categories on Amazon. So I want you to let's look at the first one. So let me go back and open up the chat. So the first example was, can learning to trade replace your job? So what category would that go under? Would that go under wellness, self-help, mental health, personal development? Would it go under memoirs and biographies? Would it go under business, economics, finance, productivity, science, technology, social and scientific analysis, or history, historical, social context, investigative nonfiction? Where would that one go? Let's see. Yep, probably self help, business, and economics. Yeah, that's more than likely where that will go. And this is important because so many authors get to Amazon and they're ready to upload the manuscript and they're like, wait, now they're asking me to pick three categories. Plus, I got to pick a subcategory. Like, what? And then people get stuck and they're like, oh man, I just can't publish this on Amazon. Forget it. So many people are like, oh, I didn't know how to classify. So you do this ahead of time as you're actually developing the manuscript so that when you get to Amazon, you have this page in front of you and it's easy. Okay. All right, let's keep going. So at the bottom, so you've got 10 topics, you've got three topics, and then now you should have just one. Okay. And you're going to use ChatGPT or whatever type of AI you like, and you're going to ask, is this the most profitable topic that I could write about based on my expertise? Right? So I'm going to do an example because I have trained my AI tool. So my AI tool knows a lot of information about me. Raise your hand if your chat knows a lot of information about you because you've been using it. I've been using mine a lot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to type in what, based on my personal experiences and expertise, if I can spell it right, expertise. Um, what what topic? What topic should I write about in my next book? Which topic would be the most profitable? I'm going to ask it to give me a list of two, maybe. Yeah, I'm going to put two topics. So what two topics should I write about in my next book based on what people are buying on Amazon when they're looking for books? Okay, so here we go. Drum roll. Based on, oh, I spelled some things wrong. I need to fix this. Based on my personal experiences and expertise, what are two topics that I should consider? I'll put consider. Writing about. Writing about in my next book based on what people are buying on Amazon right now. Because it's the Christmas season, so we want to see what they're going to come up with for me. And they're going to base this off of what I like. Okay? So here we go. Ooh, there's a lot. Okay, number one, they pulled up personal growth, self development with practical strategies. And then they even tell me why this topic, self help and personal development books, continue to dominate Amazon's bestseller list. Titles focused on behavior, change, productivity, mental performance, and habit building. And then they give me a list of books. Well, there's one book there. It's Habits. Oh, there's two, Atomic Habits and The Let Them Theory. I love those two books. Consistently sell extremely well and resonate with broad audiences. And then here's Amazon. This is the source of where they got the information from. And then they said, this trend shows readers are hungry for tools that help them improve their lives, especially actionable, evidence based advice that feels grounded and relatable. I love it. How you can spin it. Okay, so based on what they know from me, I could offer a fresh approach to habit formation tied to neuroscience or real world case studies. Mental resilience. Oh, there's resilience for uncertain times. Hey, coping with rapid change, workplace stress, or performance psychology for everyday life, not just elite athletes, but professionals, students, and parents. This niche is evergreen and performs in both print and digital formats, including audiobooks, boosting discoverability. All right, so that's the number one topic that I should be writing about, which is what I write about anyway. So I like it. And then number two, yeah, it just gave me two. Okay, good. That's all I asked for was two because I don't want too much. So hybrid nonfiction, life lessons through narrative. Okay. Why this topic? Readers are gravitating towards nonfiction that blends storytelling with practical insights. Bestsellers now often combine memoir, personal narrative, or thematic arc with lessons people can apply in their own lives. For example, memoir style books with universal takeaways, growth, identity, and there's resilience again. Resilience, somebody's on the right track, are charting well, and hybrid genres are on the rise. Books that feel like meaningful journeys rather than pure how to guides stand alone because they emotionally engage and teach. Okay, so I want to focus in on that last part where it says they emotionally engage and teach. I like that. Okay. Yes, yes. Post your results from ChatGPT right here. You know how to copy and paste, right? Just take that little copy. Where's the copy and paste tool? Here it is right here. Just copy, boom, and then drop it right into the chat. Yep, boom, just like that. And it's going to be a lot, but that's okay. That's okay. This is interesting stuff. Okay. So, anyone who's watching this on the replay, I want you to send me an email that is a question. Okay. So, I want you to ask me a question about the information that you're interacting with right now. So, I'm going to go to my email. Okay. So, for those of y'all that are watching at home and you're not live with me, I want you to email me. Okay. Because this part is very specific. Okay, so not everybody is going to have the same topic, and that's a good thing because you don't want to have the same topic as somebody else. You want to be in your own lane, okay? So you're going to email me, ljimerson35@gmail.com, and you're going to say, hey, I have a question about the chat GPT for day 2. Okay, and I'll answer your question in the email. Okay. Close that out. I'm going to go back over to the workbook. Okay, so we've done the narrow it down. Okay, so we've narrowed it all the way down from 10 to 3 to 1. We've done the research to find out what's going to be the best, most profitable topic. Okay, so now we need to talk about target audience. Okay, target audience. These target audiences are based on the research that I did on ChatGPT. Okay, so number one, one of the biggest target audiences for reading, and this is not surprising at all, but this is people with higher education. So people with an associate's degree, a bachelor's degree, a master's, it could be a PhD, could even be a certification program, right? Because within higher education, you must read books. So obviously, if you target this group of people, they're going to already be in the habit of reading books. So you're going to sell more books to these people if you stay in front of them, okay? Here's another target audience, mostly women. Women are more likely than men to read books in general. Sorry, men, I didn't make up the rules. I'm just going with the research, and it's from Pew Research Center. So that's a pretty reputable organization. And yeah, so if you have books that appeal to women, you're probably going to sell more books, depending on where you position yourself, okay? Also, younger plus younger middle-aged adults. So approximately 18 to 44 is a good group to sell to, but especially 25 to 44. So these are the Generation X. Like, I'm in Generation X. I was born in the 70s but raised in the 80s, became an adult in the 90s, right? Went to college in the 90s, started my career in the 2000s. So that would be the Generation X. And then right younger than me would be my siblings, who are the older millennials, and then the younger millennials, and then so on and so forth. Okay. So 25 to 44, this is the sweet spot of people that are reading. Okay. So you want to target these audiences that are actually already buying. Okay. Here's another category that I thought was interesting. These are avid readers who are often women. Sorry, guys. In the age group of 25 to 44. Okay. And they're among the highest spenders on books. So keep that in mind as you're writing. Okay. So you may have a book that it has a specific topic, and you might want to make it this specific topic for women, and then do another version, this specific topic for men, right? Kind of like the dummies, the book for dummies. So you want to niche it all the way down. So you might want to even have this particular topic for millennials, this particular topic for baby boomers. So with the more niche, right? Niches make riches. There's truth behind that. Okay. All right, here's another category of people, target audience. It's middle to higher income households. There's a correlation between, studies have shown, A correlation between reading and income level. Adults in households earning higher income are more likely to read and purchase books. And this is from Build Book Buzz. Tongue twister, right? But it makes sense. People who have higher income generally have jobs that give them more freedom and flexibility to where they have time to read, right? Usually they're not hustling and bustling and grinding. They have leisure. They get to go on vacation, relax. These are the people that you see in the airport with their books, on the beach, lying down with the drink and the book, right? Yeah, so it makes perfect sense. So you want to target these audiences because they're already spending money. Okay? All right, so now let's talk about the outline. Okay, let's talk about the book outline. And before I go into the book outline, I'm going to check the questions in the chat. So I'm actually going to turn off my sound so you can't hear me thinking. And I'm going to answer questions. If there's questions in the chat, drop them in the chat. And I'm going to give ourselves like a 2-minute break before I go into the outline. Okay, so I'm going through the chat right now and I'm reading the chat. Okay, I love it. The chat is blowing up. Good stuff in there. Good stuff. Okay, let's go to the outline. Now we're actually going to start writing and developing the content for the book. This is going to be like your checklist that these are the things that have to go in the book, right? But this can change. So give yourself the freedom and the flexibility and the fluidity to allow this outline to change. Okay, today's only day 2. So don't feel like what you have today is going to be the exact thing that you have on day 10. It's not, okay? So we're just flushing ideas, we're brainstorming. Okay. All right. So for this outline, we did a little bit of this last night during day one. But really, I want you to go even deeper with this one. So I do want you to write down your name, your profession, your passions. Okay. Now, I really want you to highlight your passions and I want you to base it on what we just did with the Amazon categories. And we also connected the Amazon categories to the target audiences. Okay. So go deeper on the passion. So, whatever passion you listed yesterday, I want you to build on it. Okay. Same thing when it comes to your educational background. Whatever you wrote yesterday, I want you to expand it. Okay. Same thing with your degree, your certification, experience. If you did an internship, I want you to give yourself more credit. I want you to expand it. Okay. So you get 2 minutes for this. And I want you to go deep. Passions, educational background, degree, and certification. And I'll be back. Okay, we're going to keep on moving. If you want to share in the chat, I would love to know in the chat what are your passions? What are the passions that you just added? And then what is the educational background that you just added? And then your degrees and certifications. So basically the difference between yesterday and today. Because I want you to dig deeper. And we're going to do this multiple times because even though you've thought about it before, every time you think about it, there's going to be a little bit of a different angle. Okay. Okay. So this is the first part of the outline. This is about the author. Now, the next part of the outline is actually going to be about the book. Okay. So there are four different parts to the outline. And this is new. Okay. This is the first time that I've taught this in this way, in this order. And the reason I'm doing it in four parts is because each part is separate, but they build on each other. Okay. And I've used this enough with my own books and with other people's books that now I'm like, oh, okay, I need to slow it down. I need to break it up, and we need to do it this way. Okay. All right. So the first part is the hook. Every good book needs a good hook. This is where you got to have ChatGPT because you want to say something controversial. You want it to be a little spicy. You want it to be a quote, a piece of data, something that's going to maybe piss people off, grab their attention, step on their toes. Because if it does that, then they're going to be like, oh, I got to read this book because now I'm pissed off. Right? Or, oh man, I can't believe he said that. I got to read this book because there's something emotional that's being triggered. Okay. All right. And here's what I break down for you. So, what is your hook? You can give the reader a quote, an interesting fact, or a statistic. Okay. You have to do that before you do anything else. Okay. Now, you can go to the thesis and then go back to the hook later. Some people do that. Okay. Because it makes more sense for some people's brain to create the thesis. Okay. And here's how. So, what is your thesis statement? This explains why you are writing this. Explain the problems that you're solving with this book. List the three main points here. You will explain each main point in detail later. Okay? So you need three main points. If you have five, that's okay. If you have seven, that's okay. You don't want more than seven because you're just going to be all over the place. Okay? So you really want to be laser focused so that when the person reads it, it's very clear for their mind. Okay? All right, so your thesis statement, I want you to type it into the chat when you have it ready to go. Okay? Your thesis statement is going to be broken down into one, two, three main points. Okay? And as you get your chapters are going to flow just like this. Okay? So if you create a good thesis, you got good main points, they're solid, your chapters are just going to flow. Okay? Your chapters are going to be beautiful because they're going to make sense. Okay? And this is actually where we're going to end tonight. I want to show you this page because the 10 chapters, this is my recommendation. Okay? Anywhere from 5 to 10 chapters is good. Beyond 10 chapters is going to be way too much because people have a very short attention span in 2025. Okay? So it says chapter titles. What are the names of each chapter? These are just ideas that you can always change later. Okay? This will get your brain thinking. Think of a theme song for each chapter. Okay? But when you publish your book, don't actually put anybody's songs in your book or you're going to get in trouble. Okay? Especially not Cardi B because she's going to sue you in court all day long. She don't mind suing people for using her lyrics, the name of her songs, or any of that. Rightfully so. Each chapter, when you think about developing a chapter for a nonfiction book, each chapter should be able to stand on its own so that the reader may not even necessarily read your book in order. Okay? Because a lot of people are only going to read one or two chapters. 3 chapters at the very most, okay, at one time. You can have fewer chapters if you want. It's totally up to you. You're going to have fun with this, okay? So, this is where we're going to stop today, and I'm going to do a recap. Tomorrow night, we're going to learn day 3. We're going to learn, let me just go ahead and give you a glimpse of what we're going to learn. We're going to learn how to use Google Docs to actually start using the outline to write out the chapters. Okay, so day 3 is going to go by real fast because we're going to actually be in there as a group writing those chapters in class. Okay, so that's day 3. We're going to also talk about how to combine Google Docs with Canva. Okay, because there's a whole way to do that. Okay, we're also going to talk a little bit about PayHip and what the end game is going to be for PayHip. Okay, and then we're going to go back to Amazon and I'm going to share some more research, market research data with you and talk about how important it is for you as an author. Okay, and we're going to talk about book templates, and then that's where we're going to end tomorrow night. So just so you know, a heads up on what's happening next. Okay, so here's where we are right now. We're on the hook. Okay, we're creating a thesis. Inside the thesis, we have our 3 main points. Okay, at the very end of the book is the conclusion, where you're going to restate the thesis and you're going to wrap it up with a quote. And the quote is the pretty bow. It's going to tie everything together. And it could be the same quote that you use here. You could actually refer back to it at the end of the book if you wanted to, or you could pick a different quote. Okay, but I would really love for you to get one quote, fact, statistic, or whatever, and then come back to it at the end. That would be powerful. Okay, that would be a good way for you to wrap up the entire book, because it's like the book is going to be like a keynote speech. Okay, this is the same thing for public speakers. You start with the hook, you give us 3 compelling points, you wrap it up, give us a quote or a call to action or both, and you send us off on our merry way with something that we have learned from your presentation. Okay? All right, so that is it. That's the outline, y'all. Your homework. Type in the chat what your homework is. What's your homework? What do you need to come prepared with tomorrow? I'll give you a hint. It starts here, then it goes here, 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 and then you're done. Okay? So let's go back over the parts of the outline. So there's 4 parts. So the first part is the hook. So you got to bring me a hook. That's 1. The second part is going to be your thesis statement. So that's 2. Okay. Then you got to come up with some main points. So that's 3. And then the end is the conclusion. So that's part 4. That's what I want you to do for homework. And then tomorrow night, we will take all that information and we'll start typing it into a Google Doc. Okay, and that's where we will pick up for day 3. This is it. This is the conclusion for day 2. Thank you so much for being attentive and allowing me to expand your brain, right? Good night, y'all. See you on day 3. Good night.